The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Welcome to Michigan International Speedway. It's the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series, race number 1 of segment 2, getting set to get underway here tonight. 130 miles, 65 laps, the scheduled distance for these drivers here as we conclude segment number 1 2 weeks ago at Pocono, picking up the win at Pocono. Of course, Chad Lawton did that so very well, leading 42 laps of the 60 total on circuit. And he got the job done. Brian Schoenberg came home with a strong second place finish. Adam Benefield third. Timmy Hill came in fourth. Byron Daly rounded out your top 5 from last week or 2 weeks ago. And of course, JD Laird picking up his eighth place finish there at Pocono was just that, good enough to beat out Bentley Glazer for segment 1 championship. So JD Laird getting it job done without a win as well on the schedule for the first segment. So as far as that goes for JD Laird, pretty excited for winning segment 1, but at the same time, still looking for that first W on the season, and what a better place to get it than tonight here at Michigan. One of the fastest racetracks you will see on the NASCAR circuit. No restrictor plates, a 2-mile oval, high banked. Kelly Dahl joining me, Andy Kessler, here tonight up in the booth. Of course, Cisco Scaramuza down in the production trailer. And Kelly, we talked about Michigan. 2 wide, 3 wide, that's pretty norm here.
Yeah, it's a very wide track, and there's plenty of lines that could get you some good speed through there. And as you said, it's very high banking. In the turns, you got 18 degrees of banking, and it doesn't end there. In the start-finish straight, you also get 12 degrees of banking, so you can keep a lot of speed through that start-finish straight. Around that, you can almost call it another corner, even. You carry a lot of speed through that, through 1 and 2, and hopefully you can bring it some good speed down the backstretch, which is relatively flat at 5 degrees of banking.
You're absolutely right. Michigan International Speedway, especially with the trucks. Trucks are momentum-based vehicle, especially here in the sim. And with that said, when you get a place like this with these long straightaways, your corner speed is very crucial. When you exit that corner, you want to be on the ball and on the move. And, of course, the draft. We'll see the draft come into play as well. Probably see this field, if we get some long green flag runs, spread out in a bunch of little groups. Probably 3-4 cars at a whack, but you'll see them in a bunch of different little groups. And the reason for the groups, of course, is the draft package that these trucks will run here today at Michigan. Take a look at the chase standing so far through the first 12 races of the season. 5 more races set for these drivers to get their way into the chase. Not much time left for them to get the job done. And we take a look at our chase standings right now. Adam Gilliland leads the way right now with the 3 wins so far in the season. Doy Woods, Timmy Hill, Alan Elwood each picking up a win so far. The rest of the drivers you see there up to 12th place, all in right now currently based on point standings. You look at those guys a little bit further out, 13th, 14th place. They need to get their move on. They only got 5 races now to make up a minimum right now of 22 points over Adam Benefield in the 83. And we know Adam can be very strong on the long run, especially at a place like this, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. But it's almost that time to get tonight's race underway, so we'll send it down trackside now for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free and the home of the
I'd like to thank Jaden Berkey for that rendition of tonight's national anthem, and of course the virtual Thunderbirds for the flyover that you saw. But we get set, the clock has struck 0. It's time to get tonight's race, the Michigan 130, underway. 65 laps, the scheduled distance, and let's take a look at tonight's LSRTV starting grid. And on the pole, how about this? Alex Bergeron in the 01 with a 40.216. Alan Cryer in the 16 will roll off on the outside of row number 1. Third place starting, that's Logan Clampett. Second time we've seen him here in the Truck Series. He'll start on the 3rd spot. And truck number 44, and then JD Laird, our segment 1 champion, will roll off in the 4th spot. 5th, that goes to the 20 of Chad Coleman.
And on his outside, the other Chad, our winner from 2 weeks ago, Chad J. Lawton, starting in 6th place. On the 4th row, on the inside, number 2, Jordy Lopez Jr., and on his outside, the 83 of Adam Benefiel. The next row behind them, you'll see the 36 of Bentley Glacier and the 60 of Byron Daly.
11 starting on the grid here tonight, the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. Tyler Dalton in the 19 will start 12th, row number 7. That's Justin Weaver on the inside in truck number 38. David Ankeny will start to his outside in 14th position. And the 63 of Garrett Smithley will start 15th.
On the outside, number 10, Garrett Beasley will be starting 16th. 17th is the 03 of Jake Simmons, and beside him, Doy Woods will be rolling off 18th. 19th sees Tyler King in the 12th car, and on his outside, the 32 of Joshua Guiher.
Stephen O'Rourke in the 3 truck will start 21st. 22nd of Paul Fugate. 87 of Ray Rittenauer will be the last truck to take qualifying time here tonight. He will start 23rd. The rest of these drivers deciding to take a provisional on the night. Starting 24th, that'll be Paul Cooper, Matt Quick, Rich Jett, and John Wilco round out the 27 truck field we have here tonight. And Kelly, we talk about Michigan. We talked about it being a wide open place, 3 wide, 4 wide, momentum, draft. It all comes into play. As a driver, what do you expect these first few laps? How wild can this restart be here?
I mean, it can get crazy. You have so much room, and it just almost sets you up for it. You wouldn't be surprised if we see 3, maybe even 4 wide on some of these restarts as people start to get desperate and wanting to gain those easy positions on the starts and restarts.
You know, track position can be important no matter where we go on the racetrack or any racetrack that is on the schedule, so it is all important, especially at a place like this. Green flag runs are pretty common when you come to Michigan. Get set to see some of that here tonight. 65 laps set to scheduled distance. The 01 of Alex Bergeron gets set to lead the field to the green flag, his first pole on the season for that young driver, rookie here for the ASCORS Racing League. Green flag is out, and we're racing here at Michigan. Pretty good jump on that bottom side there. A little checkup a little further back. 41 of E.J. O'Rourke not quite getting going. He'll be able to get everything righted right now. Some 3 wide action further back, but how about Alex Bergeron? Going to lead the way into turn number 1.
Yeah, a relatively calm start. The drivers electing to stay 2 by 2, still double file as they come around turn number 2. The 01 being followed hot on his tail is the 44 of Logan Clampett as they head down the backstretch into turn number 3.
Logan Clampett looking to get some laps led here early on. Will back off a little bit on corner entry there. He'll settle that truck down now. You won't see these guys run on that bottom white line there. Truck gets very loose when you get down to it, closer and closer to that apron. You'll see these guys about one groove up. That's the fastest way around this racetrack, and you'll see them all pretty much right there, single file. We look through the top 5, all single file. First side-by-side battle, Segment 1 championship leader, J.D. Laird on the outside. He's got the 60 of Byron Daly just to his inside, and the top side gets the momentum, but you can see right there, J.D. Laird able to hang on to that position for now, but the bottom side still the shortest way around.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to push that outside of the 26, but now it seems like the 26 is thinking it's a bad idea and is just going to leave him out to dry on that high side, so not really a place you want to be outside all on your own. You don't get that draft to help make up that gap you lose for being on the outside compared to the inside. Definitely seems like the inside line is the stronger line here today.
It does, right in front of Byron Daly. Now the 16 of Alan Cryer is going to go battle now with the 36 of Bentley Glazer. Glazer had an opportunity to come out with Segment 1 championship, but he ran out of fuel under the caution flag on the last couple laps of the race last week at Pocono, and he ran out right when he came to the start-finish line. I believe it was right for that white flag, so he ended up losing a bunch of positions right there. And actually, where he was at the time would have put a tiebreaker situation in for the championship for Segment 1, but luckily, I think still the tiebreaker would have came out with J.D. Laird because of where he was finished ahead of him, but that still, what a great battle all season long between those two drivers. Neither one of them with a win, but right now locked into the chase based on points and how well they've done in Segment 1. They got 5 more races to hang on to it here in Segment number 2 before we do get that chase underway at New Hampshire. So a lot of interesting tracks coming up on the schedule for these guys in this segment. You got Darlington, you got the road course racing up in Canada, then you got Chicagoland and Milwaukee before we head off into Loudon for the chase. So these guys have a lot of racing to get set to do here before they can call themselves eligible for a championship run here. Still some side-by-side battling going on off of turn number 4. That's still Alan Cryer. He's got that 26 machine of Chad Lawton who is outside. And Chad Lawton, one of those names we see a lot, especially in the iRacing Peak Antifreeze Series. One of those veteran drivers, Black Stripes we'll call him, and pro drivers here. And you see him using that outside lane to his advantage right there off of turn 2. He'll get that position.
Yeah, he was able to get a great push off of that outside corner, even with the 16 having the 63 pushing him. He was able to get that speed advantage, which was actually surprising in my opinion. Up through the field, we got a lot of drivers working together. It looks like the top 3 are starting to pull away from the next group of 4. So we'll have to see if these guys can link together and see if they can maybe work out their differences to hold on to this position, try to open a gap between the rest of the field.
Yeah, one of those guys actually in the for him in the opening 5 laps of this race has moved him up onto a podium position for the time being, and this is kind of like it's starting to settle out, kind of like what I talked about. You'll see little groups of 2 trucks, 3 trucks, maybe 4 in these little tight packs that you'll see because of the draft, and it's starting to shape that way out now, even though the 20, though, Chad Coleman, starting to reel in those top 3 now as they work their way off turn 4 once again.
Yeah, we might start seeing a large group start to form here, so we'll have to see if they'll elect to stay in single file or if they'll go double file and try to make some moves happen here. Talking about big movers, we got the 63 of Garrett Smithley, started in 15th. He's now running top 10, right on the tail of the 16.
Yeah, Garrett Smithley doing a great job here in the opening laps. This is a fun racetrack to be in, whether it's the trucks, the Cup car, the B car. Michigan proves to be a lot of fun time and time again. All about patience with the throttle, getting off these corners. Otherwise, you can get those trucks or vehicles, anyone, which are driving awfully loose off these corners. You can see right there, going for a pass on the bottom side. Garrett Smithley went for it, had to push up the racetrack just a bit. Open the bottom side up for Alan Cryer now to make a crossover move here. He'll keep that position at the start-finish line, but he's going to keep that 63 just to his outside now. J.D. Laird possibly looking to help him as he gives him a little draft bump there in the corner, but Alan Cryer will come out with that position for the time being. How about the 63, though? Here he comes again. The pretty good run off turn number 2. Whoa, we got trouble behind the 41. E.J. O'Rourke off of turn number 2, and it looks like the 91, Doy Woods, involved in that one as well. 2 trucks involved. Our first caution here on lap 8.
Yeah, it looked like just a little wiggle coming out of the corner by the 41, and the 91 was just left with nowhere to go. Drafting the, I believe the 10 very close, so when you're, especially with the trucks, when you're up close against someone drafting them, you can't see what's in front of them. He gave the 10 a little tag and then just went head first right into the 41.
Yeah, it is a problem when you are, especially that's what makes Daytona and Talladega and these trucks that much fun too, is right when you're up on that bumper, you literally cannot see a thing, and you have to have so much trust in those guys in front of you. So the 01, Alex Bergeron's been leading since the drop of the green flag here tonight. He's done a good job holding off that 44, Logan Clampett, and the hard charging Jordy Lopez here in the early going. Of course, Jordy Lopez, winner in the ASCORS Pro Geek Consulting Cup Series earlier this season, so he's primed to put himself in the chase situation in the Cup Series side of things in segment number 3 as well later on this season. So Jordy Lopez making one of the few starts here in the Truck Series so far this season, but they're running very well here in the opening laps. Pit road will be open this time, and it's been just under 10 laps. I would imagine we'd see most of these guys come down pit road. Tires, they may not seem that important, but this is an older racetrack, and it is pretty abrasive, and they do wear out pretty quickly, especially that right front tire with these heavy or high speeds that these guys carry into the corners.
Yeah, and I was looking through the field. I saw a couple trucks with some rear end damage. Maybe when they checked out, the person behind them didn't quite see it and slammed into them. So they'll definitely try to hammer that damage out. As the 01 leads them on the pit road, we'll see if they do take tires or elected to only take fuel. The 44 and the 01 pulling into the pits way down at the end of the pit road. We'll see which side of the cars go up. It doesn't look like oh no, there goes the right side. There's a couple trucks seem to be maybe electing to just take fuel or drive through. I wasn't seeing those ones, but the 01 is definitely going for 4 tires. The 44, great launch off of pit road. Wow. I don't know if he beat him. That was very close. He might have beaten the 01 out of pit road.
No, he didn't. The 01, Alex Bergeron, just barely nudged him. So that pole position, that front pit box there, definitely gave the 01 the advantage coming off of the pit road, but a great stop nonetheless by Logan Clampett and his crew, making it awfully close there coming off of pit road. So, first caution of the night, first pit stops of the night, 4 tires of fuel for most of the field. Looks like the 60 of Byron Daly, the 89 of Matt Quick, and possibly one other driver there, the 21 of Paul Cooper, deciding to stay out here in this opening caution, possibly coming down this time for tires, maybe just trying to get a lap lead, get that extra bonus point, because that could mean a lot when it comes chase time. Especially if you don't get that victory, getting every single point possible is definitely what you need to do. So our first caution of the night should be a pretty quick one here. Most of the trucks on the lead lap, just 2 of them right now shown off the lead lap. And, of course, those were the 2 drivers involved in the first caution, E.J. O'Rourke and Doy Woods. The 60, the 21, they decide to come down pit road. 89 of Matt Quick will stay out, lead a lap this time, and sure he'll come down with 1 to go when everything's all said and done, and hand that lead back over to that 01, Alex Bergeron. He's been pretty tough here in the opening laps.
Yeah, he's been running really strong, but, staying out wasn't a bad idea. I'm looking through these lap times, and it doesn't seem like there's been too much of a drop-off as of this moment. So you have to wonder if he's going to be able to hold on that well, or if the 01's just going to, and the 44 and there, we had about 8 laps of clean racing before we finally had that caution. So he might have worn him down just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. How about SegPay? For over 10 years, SegPay has been processing online payment transactions for merchants in all categories with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are a leader in card-not-present transactions and have strong relationships with acquiring banks and with credit card schemes. Learn more at SegPay.com. Of course, SegPay, the proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. Of course, can't forget Garrett Smithley Racing, the proud sponsor of Garrett Smithley. And the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevy Camaro and the Xfinity Series on the NASCAR side. So make sure you check out Garrett Smithley. We see, of course, Garrett Smithley in the race here tonight. Started 15th. Currently, right now, shown in the 11th spot. Looks like he'll be 10th once everything cycles through and Matt Quick does come down pit road. So up 5 positions, but once he's got to that 10th position, really been struggling trying to get any more. We saw him a couple times try to get around Alan Cryer. Unable to get the job done on that aspect, so we'll see what he can do with the fresh tires on this restart. The 89 Matt Quick does come down pit road this time. Looks like we'll get the 1 to go this time. The field will jumble back up, and we'll get set for our first restart of the night on lap number 13.
Yeah, everyone was relatively calm during that first restart. Didn't see too much 3 wide. People mainly electing to go 2x2 until they could filter into a single file run, but now that we're through that initial start, maybe people are going to start to feel a little bit braver. Try to get that jump on that guy that you couldn't quite pass when you were racing him green flag. So we'll have to see if people can capitalize on any situations that may arise, like a missed shift or a short shift, and just try to gain a bunch of those positions. Garrett Smithley might try to hold off J.D. Laird, or we'll see if Garrett Smithley can maybe even jump past Alan Cryer. Like you said, he was struggling to get past him on that last run. So he's on the inside now. He might be able to sneak past him. We saw the inside very strong through the start of that last green flag run.
Yeah, we absolutely did. And inside lane, too, with these trucks at Michigan, can pretty much hold it wide open through turns 1 and 2. So I definitely give the advantage to the bottom side. We'll see how things play out, though, on this restart. The field making their way into turn number way. How about a couple weeks from now, Darlington? What a big mix-up there from going from Michigan to Darlington. So that should be a lot of fun. Racing right up against that wall next week, or 2 weeks' time, I should say, right here on Wednesday night, so make sure you tune in for that as well. But first, we got to finish this one off here tonight. Just a little bit under quarter distance of the way, 65 lap scheduled distance. We're about to complete lap number 12 as we get set for our first restart of the night. Pace cars off. And again, the 01 of Alex Bergeron, who's been leading all night long. Pretty good jump. But how about the outside, the 44, Logan Clampett? He's getting the job done on the outside. How about some 3 wide? For some action into turn number 1.
Jordy Lopez went underneath the line to make it 3 wide. It looks like he's making it stick. Still kind of 3 wide between him, the 20 and the 44. Whoa, they're getting a little close together, but they can still keep it clean. 3 wide still as the 20 gets filtered back. Looks like he checked up to avoid the 2. And now the 26 slipping to the high side in front of the 36. See if he can make that move. And the 44 gets around the 0-1 going into turn number 1 to take the race lead.
Our first change of lead in the race under the green flag condition. Logan Clampett now off of turn number 4. He'll look to lead his first lap of the night. Some interesting restart right there. We saw it finally, some 3 wide action going into turn number 1. And for Jordy Lopez, it worked out for the time being. Chad Lawton as well up there in that position, battling him hard for that 3rd position right now. Side by side all the way throughout behind these guys. 16, Alan Cryer now up next to Bentley Glazer in that 36th. The outside lane, though, will prevail. Here comes Adam Benefield looking to make it by that 16 as well, as he tries to move up some more spots from the start of this race. He started 8th. Currently, right now, it's showing him in the 7th spot, so it's been a quiet start, but we know Adam Benefield very strong on the long runs. As these tires wear in, that's when you're going to see that 83 really excel. So that short run at the beginning, not much going on for him, and I expect after about maybe a 15 to 20 lap run, you'll really start to see that 83 come alive. You see him right there in the turn number 1 on the high side, really driving in right past the 16, down to the bottom. He'll make that spot. He'll make it stick and get that spot away from Alan Cryer. Now Alan Cryer got a bunch in the field up right behind him. 63, Garrett Smithley all over his back bumper now as they head back to turn 3.
Yeah, he had a good push down that back stretch there, so probably gave him a good burst of speed. As we see the fields now starting to slowly reel in the 44 and the 0-1. They'd kind of open a bit of a gap, but they weren't really drafting too well together. The 0-1 seems really adamant on wanting to get his position back. So that gave the 26 and the 2 a bit of time to link up together and help push each other towards the 0-1 and the 44. Try to catch these leaders and see if they can take over the race lead.
They're definitely going to need some drafting help, and that's what you're going to do. You fall off a little bit more at 26, and he will definitely lose it. 2 truck lengths now, the distance between him and second place of Alex Bergeron, and it looks like he'll close the gap even more. Look at Alex Bergeron diving into turn number 3. He'll go side by side now with that 44, but the top side looks like it's going to prevail once again, and in doing that, it's going to lose a little bit of momentum. It's going to bring everybody else now into the picture. Here comes the 26 now. Chad Lawton looking to the outside. He'll get up there now side by side for that 2nd spot. Jordy Lopez, Bentley Glazer, they look on.
Yeah, it looked like the 44 almost scraped the wall coming into turn 3. He lost a lot of speed, but I'm surprised the 0-1 wasn't able to complete the pass. But here comes the 26 now on the high side. Great move as he's got a lot of speed now carrying down the backstretch, and he will clear the 0-1 to take control of 2nd place. Now the 0-2 of Jordy Lopez Jr. looking outside the 0-1, but the 36 kind of pushing him a little, which will help him get cleared just barely of the 2 car.
And Jordy Lopez actually having to push up the racetrack just a bit to avoid contact with Alex Bergeron. It's going to allow Bentley Glazer now out at Benefield to maybe come into the picture here to the inside possibly take over that fourth position away from that 2 of Jordy Lopez. So Chad Lawton 2 weeks ago won the last race of segment number 1 at Pocono, and looking very strong here in the early going as he tries to close in on the back bumper of that 44 Logan Clampett. And Logan Clampett looking very strong earlier this season when he picked up the win at Martinsville. Just a dominating performance. Love that track, he said when in his interview, but since then we haven't heard much of him. So he's here tonight. Obviously a fast race truck, but he's got somebody now to his inside here. The 26, Chad Lawton, definitely looking pretty racy on this second run here. He's moved up side by side now for the race lead into turn 1.
You know, I'll have to see which one can carry the most speed to the corner. The 44 is hanging with him, but the 26 getting a great run out of the corner. Keeps side by side, but 0-1 is slightly pushing just close enough to take a bit of the drag off the 44 and help him down that back stretch. But he hasn't completely cleared him yet. They're still side by side as they enter turn number 3, door to door. Absolutely close racing. Neither one just giving the other an inch. Both wanting that race lead, pushing hard for it, and the 0-1 just swapping between the two, seeing if he can find a gap. Maybe he's going to look to even push it 3 wide now. He's looking back and forth, inside, outside, and just looking for that gap to try to get his race lead back.
Talk about looking at the bottom, looking up high. I mean, not afraid to go anywhere, and that's what's probably the best thing about this racetrack is that there's so many different options for these drivers, which makes it really racy and which makes it look this much fun here when you see these 3 guys now battling for the race lead here as they go back into turn number 3. Still side by side. It's been that way for a couple laps now. Chad Lawton trying to get the advantage. He does now finally clear that 44 now. In the middle of turns 3 and 4, he'll take over that race lead. He'll bring the 0-1 now into the picture as well. Alex Bergeron tries to clear that 44 and does so here on the front straightaway, and now brings in Jordy Lopez, and how about Adam Benefield as well? Top 5 all nose to tail back into 1.
And here comes the 0-1 looking to the inside. Can't quite get enough speed. This is 26 of Chad Lawton carrying some great speed along the high line there. And you have to think, Chad Lawton has definitely got an advantage this week with momentum. Since he won 2 weeks ago, like you get that after a win, you have that huge confidence boost. You feel so great after that win, and you just want a second one. You feel confident. You feel like you can do anything with that after that win. So, you know, he's got coming into the race with that mentality. It's definitely helped him moving up from 6th position, now leading the race, and he's starting to open up and get a little bit of a gap against the 0-1 here.
Yeah, he is starting to open up a little gap, and that all started. We talked about momentum being important at this racetrack, and we saw the last time in the turn number 1 how hard that 0-1 dove it down into the corner, and it just killed his momentum down the back straightaway, and that's what allowed Chad Lawton to get the lead that he did for the time being. Still about a truck and a half length here as they head back to turn number 3. Pretty good battle going on for that 4th spot as well, too. The 83 of Adam Benefield was able to get that away from Jordy Lopez a couple laps ago, but you can see Jordy Lopez not giving up here too early. He's already pulled back to the inside now of Adam Benefield, and they'll race it out side by side for 4th, but these guys better look out behind him. Garrett Smithley on the move, restarted 9th. He's up to 6th already. So far, our biggest mover of the night.
Correction there, Garrett Smithley started 15th, up to 6th. But with the 2 and the 83, I don't think this is a good decision for them to really fight it out like this. Oh, sorry about that. Restarted 9th. I see now. I believe it's not a great idea for the 83 and the 2 to really fight it out here. They were close up with that other group, the lead 3, but then they started to fight for position. They started to drop back, and now the 63 and his group here are starting to get closer to them. As we've said before, the draft is a big factor on this track. It's almost like a mini super speedway, not quite like Daytona or Talladega, but you still need to use that draft because it is such a high speed track. You know, if you start fighting, you lose speed, and it's starting to give these guys maybe an opportunity to jump these guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. You start running side by side, definitely scrubs off the momentum, scrubs the speed off that you're carrying in the draft. How about Jordy Lopez? A little loose off turn number 2, might have brushed the wall. That's going to separate him now from the 83 of Adam Benefield and actually bring him back into the clutches of Garrett Smithley now as they work their way back into turn number 3. And turn 2 is typically probably the hardest or the worst corner, I would say, as far as the handling goes on these trucks, whether it's on fresh tires or whether it's on old tires. Sometimes that turn 2 wall can really just sneak up on you, and it usually can cause some havoc. Turn 4 is a little bit different because it's more of a sweeping turn where it kind of opens up a little bit to head down that dogleg type of a straightaway that semi-oval, I guess. It would quad oval, whatever you want to call it, but it's not quite the same as you would have to see at a 1.5-mile raceway, but there's still an arch there on the front straightaway. So it's definitely a little bit easier of a corner, especially to gather it if your truck does start getting loose. But turn 2 is just got to be the worst one here.
Yeah, if you get on the throttle too quick in turn 2, you can easily slam into that wall. Turn 4 is a bit more forgiving in that because, as you said, it opens up. It allows you to carry a lot of speed down that front stretch. Now we're seeing the 44 and the 01 starting to work together a little bit here as they try to catch the reel in the 26. A couple laps ago, the 01 had a look at the 26, but the Chad Lawton, it's definitely carrying a lot of speed, looking very strong out there. But you can't really count out the 83 yet because the 83 is still just kind of creeping along there. Now look at the 44 starting to look at the inside of 01. Maybe going to try to make a move as he gets his nose out of the quarter panel. Now side by side into turn number 3, even up. Can't tell which one's going to get the corner here, but the 44 carrying a lot more speed to take second place.
Yeah, he'll make that pass rather easily, at least look easy right there. Off of turn 4, he'll change that position up here, put Logan Clampett back into that second spot. Alex Bergeron, though, still got to be pretty excited to see that 01, the speed that he's carried here tonight on the pole, second fastest in practice. And he's been up here in the top 3 all night long since we have started this one here. Working lap number 27. We're getting closer and closer to the halfway point. Still green flag racing here in Michigan. We're going to take a moment, step aside. You're watching the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series right here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Ready and fire.
Welcome you back here to Michigan International Speedway. Andy Kessler and Kelly Dahl up topside in the booth. Cisco Scaramuza down trackside. And how about this? They waited until we came back. The battle for the lead. Logan Clampett looking to take over that top spot now as they head back into turn number 1. He's got that inside position. Chad Lawton going to let him go right there. And as we get about 22 laps into this thing and just about the halfway point this next time by, guys are getting it done right now for the race lead. Well, how about it? Halfway through it, Kelly. Might as well get through our midway race break. Of course, sponsored by iRacing, the premier online racing game with professionally organized racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and much, much more. Chad Lawton on lap number 33. He leads the way, or he does not lead the way. Logan Clampett leads the way right now. Chad Lawton all over his back bumper for that second position. Alex Bergeron continuing a strong run here tonight. He's holding on to that third spot. Adam Benefield now into the fourth. Jordy Lopez up to fifth. J.D. Laird, last couple of round. Laird 6th, 7th to Garrett Smithley. Byron Daly in that 8th spot, 9th to Bentley Glazer. Rounding out your top 10, that's the 20 of Chad Coleman.
Behind him, trying to make his way up there, is the 0-3 of Jake Simmons in 11th. In 12th, you have the 3 of Stephen O'Rourke, now getting passed for that position. Oh, battling for it with the 19 of Tyler Dalton. Behind, correction, that's the 38 of Justin Weaver. Bit difficult numbers to read there. Behind them, though, is they all started to get a little mixed up here, is the 21 of Paul Nicholas Cooper and the 30 of David Ankeny. Sorry about that, I'm terrible with the names. Behind them, though, is the 16 of Alan Cryer, the 19 of Tyler Dalton, the 7 of Rich Jetty. Richard Beasley is sitting 19th, and rounding out your top 20 is Matt Quick in the 89.
Tyler King in the 12 is currently 21st. 22nd goes to John Wilco. Joshua Geyer is the last truck on the lead lap in the 23rd spot. 1 lap down, that's 24th spot. That's Ray Rittenauer, Paul Fugate. Now 9 laps make it now in 25th. And then these other 2 trucks out of the race. They were involved in that first and only caution here on the evening. E.J. O'Rourke in the 41 scored 26th. 27th goes to Doy Woods. Up front, though, these two still lockstep to each other. Logan Clampett, 26th, of Chad Lawton. Both these guys swapping positions over the last couple of laps. Doing a great job pulling away right now. About a 1.5 lead now on that 01 of Alex Bergeron. Adam Benefield still trying to reel him in. How about J.D. Laird on the long run here? He's made up a couple of spots here. Got around Garrett Smithley, got around Jordy Lopez. Now finds himself in the top 5 position here halfway through this race. And, of course, this has been your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. You can use the LSRTV promo code by entering PR-2016 LSRTV. When you register for new iRacing membership, get the late model free of charge, along with the 13 cars and 14 tracks that are included with a first-time subscription. Once again, that's promo code PR-2016 LSRTV. So we get that halfway point, Kelly, and now we're at the point here of green flag pit stops are about to happen probably in the next 10 or 15 laps or so. You're going to start seeing some of these drivers. Who are these guys outside the top 5, maybe top 10? We might see some guys maybe short pit try to gain some of this track position back.
Yeah, the green flag pit stops are really what can make or break you here. You screw up that pit stop, like on a caution flag, yeah, you'll drop a couple positions, but you won't lose that much track position. You'll be still right there. You drop a second or 2 on your pit stop, that's not just 1 or 2 spots. That's a couple 100 meters on that racetrack. That's a big distance. And that's a lot of ground you can cover in those cars. So you really have to just nail your green flag pit stop here if you want to succeed in this race.
I mean, in all honesty, the biggest part to make or break it is enter and exit a pit road. How fast can you get onto pit road without speeding, and then how quickly you can get back up to speed on that apron, on that flat apron, I should say as well, till you get to turn number 2. So a lot goes into a pit stop. It's not just driving it at 60 miles an hour down pit road. You got to pay attention to everything about it, getting on and off pit road. That's where you're going to win the race off pit road, or win your positions, or even possibly win you the race here. J.D. Laird continuing to pull up in that 5th spot. He's starting to catch up to 83 of Adam Benefield, but I'm also watching that 60. Byron Daly really coming along here with these worn out tires, with the laps putting down now. The late run definitely helping at 60.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want to see more green flag runs like this if he's going to continue to run this way in these trucks. He's definitely a lot better on the worn tires than everyone else. He seems to be slowly reeling in J.D. Laird in the 23 car.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to close that gap for that 5th position. it'll be a battle within just a moment too, so we'll have to keep an eye on those guys too. Pit road will start getting busy. 2.4 second lead the top two have now on Alex Bergeron. It's gained about a whole nother second the last couple of laps, so Alex Bergeron definitely with the older tires starting to wear out. You see him now heading down pit road. It'll be one of the first leaders. You see him really locking him up, getting down along with the two of Jordy Lopez. And that goes to exactly what we talked about, Kelly, with getting everything you possibly can getting onto pit road. That's what we saw right there out of both those drivers.
I mean, yeah, you're cruising around this track. You're topping out over 180 miles an hour. But pit road speed limit is 55. That's a big drop, and these trucks are heavy, and they don't have great brakes. I can tell you that much. It's very difficult to slow these things down, and very easy to lock up those brakes, as we just saw. And now we're seeing the 36 now going to come flying by on those fresh tires around the leaders here. You can see how much of a difference it is between those the fresh and old tires. And you have to wonder, are these guys going to stay out like this, or are they going to pit? I think that's going to be a wake-up call to them, showing that, hey, you're losing ground staying out on these old tires. People are going to start gaining distance on you if you don't pit soon. So I'm sure we'll see these guys maybe this lap, maybe even the next lap, coming down pit road.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. How about the 01? That's going to, I believe, keep him on the lead lap. So Alex Bergeron, a great job on pit road. It looks like the 44 Logan Clampett, he's slowing up. He's going to be heading down pit road, so he'll be the first of the top two there to come down. He'll do that here on lap number 41, locking him up once again to get down on pit road safely. And that is one thing you don't want is a speeding penalty, because you'll be sitting there for an extra 15 seconds. And when you want to talk about losing time on the racetrack, do that. You'll find how much time you'll lose.
Yeah, 15 seconds is definitely a lot of time in these trucks. That's about two-thirds or a third of a lap. That's a good amount of ground. You don't want to be losing that. But we'll have to wonder why Chad Lawton's staying out. I'm going to guess he's going to be coming around and down to pit road this time. That short pit by the 44 could really undercut him and possibly put the 44 into the lead. Now we're seeing the 26 now. Whoa, big slide, big lockup as he gets hard on the brakes, but still able to slow it down before the pit road entry.
Yeah, great job by the 26. And we saw a couple, this past Sunday, I believe it was, when the ASCORS Pro Geek Consulting Cup Series came here in Michigan and ran their race Sunday night. The same thing. We saw the leader come down, and the next time by, we saw the second place car come down. And on the racetrack, it actually gave Ray Alfala about a 2.5 to 3 second lead, and that was only on one lap. We'll see what happens when Chad Lawton in that 26 comes back out onto the racetrack. We see Logan Clampett now flashing by the start-finish line right there. So Chad Lawton still on pit road, coming off now onto the access road. So you can see right there how much just one lap made a difference, a huge difference for that 44 Logan Clampett. Chad Lawton's got some work to do to catch him now.
Yeah, like I said, that he definitely got undercut there. He shouldn't have stayed out that extra lap. When he saw the 44 start showing his intentions to pit, probably should have followed him down. That's definitely costing him some position. But now we have a new race leader in the 7 of Rich Jett. Just looking about 6 seconds ahead of the 10 of Richard Beasley.
Yeah, both of those drivers, along with John Wilco, still have yet to come down pit road. So those drivers may be trying to make it a little bit for caution here to give them some track position. But you can definitely see the speed difference for those drivers on the older tires. We'll see this time by Rich Jett, the type of laps he's putting up. Last time was a 43.1. This time a 43.4. And then you look back to Logan Clampett, a 40.9, so 3 seconds difference between the leader and you see what was our leader, Logan Clampett, who right now currently is shown as your race leader, or he will be your race leader. But look at Bentley Glazer, that short pit, him outside the top 10. Look how much time he has gained. He is right there on the back bumper of Logan Clampett. And you also got the 01 of Alex Bergeron right there as well.
Yeah, you definitely can't count creeping along there, but he's probably going to try to push it a little too hard this time again to try to get those positions. He was a lot better on the short run on this last green flag run, and as the green flag run dragged on, though, he lost a lot of ground. He may have worn out his tires too much, or just isn't as good as the other drivers on those worn tires. But He's looking to try to get past 36, taking little peeks here and there to see if he can find a gap. But when you're drafting these trucks, like, you can't really get right up onto the bumper with them unless because there's a little bit of a pocket of air, a little cushion. But here he goes now, onto the inside of the 36 into turn number 1. Great move, a lot of speed there, but the 36 can't quite hold on to the speed and will drop into the back behind him. But the 44 is still leading that small group.
Yeah, Logan Clampett doing a great job trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. Not going to happen though. The 0-1 Alex Bergeron, we said, very strong in a short run. I think that's what we're seeing right here with these fresh tires, able to catch up to Logan Clampett for the time being. Bentley Glazer, though, those older tires that he had pitting a little bit sooner, it gave him some track position. But honestly, I mean, the way things are spread out, he might be able to hang on to like maybe a 6-7 spot here as they run over the course of this run here. But he's got a long way to go to make it to the end here. Just under 20 laps left to go. So it'll be 18 this next time by. So for Bentley Glazer, maybe hoping for a caution here, keeping him that track position that he currently has. Richard Beasley still out there on the racetrack trying to get as much as they can. And like I said, at this point, probably just hoping for a caution late in the race here right now. Jordi Lopez, though, with that great pit stop he had as well, has moved up into the 4th spot. He's right ahead of Chad Lawton, who Chad Lawton trying to make up those 2.5, almost 3 seconds that he lost, coming down 1 lap after the 44 Logan Clampett. It's definitely hurt him and made it to where he's got to pass some cars. Now he's stuck back in traffic.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what these two leaders are doing by staying out there. Like, it's definitely going to cost them in the long run. They're losing 3 seconds a lap, and if they don't pit soon, they're probably going to go down a full lap after they've finished their pit stops. And the 44 and the 10 or the 0-1 are just pushing hard and gaining a lot of time on these guys. It might be a good idea in the short run, maybe if they get a caution, but it's something you're gambling on, and it's probably going to cost them in the end.
It definitely will. Still about 2.5 second difference from what the speeds they're running in, what Logan Clampett is running currently right now. So it was 11.6 seconds now, back to 3rd. So they are definitely closing in on the leaders right now here. We work lap number 49, and we're getting awfully close to the end of this one here. 16 laps left to go from Michigan. We'll come back and we'll bring you right to the checkered flag here, of course, on LSRTV and iRacing Live. It's the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. We'll be back in just a moment.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
Welcome you back here to Michigan International Speedway. It's the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series, race number 1 of segment 2 here in Michigan. 65 laps of scheduled distance. We work lap number 53, and how about the 26? Chad Lawton making up the ground that he lost on pit road, pitting 1 lap after Logan Clampett. He's made his way up to second place and closing quick as they head to turn 3.
Yeah, and you got to wonder how much of his tires he used there. I mean, the 44 just seems to be kind of cruising along, and the 26 really had to push to get past all these trucks. And when we were during the break, the 7 of Rich Jett decided to finally take his pit stop, and now he's sitting 36 seconds behind, nearly a lap down. And oh wow, look at the 26 now, right on the bumper of the 44, nearly getting to him and heading into turn number 1. Definitely letting the 44 know that he's back and he's ready to take his spot right back away from him.
Guess what? I'm here. That's exactly what he's saying right now. Look at the run off turn 2. Closing the gap with that draft right now. It's only going to be a matter of time. You can see that 26 poke his head out. There he does right there in the turn number 3. He'll look to the inside. That's a quarter panel there just for the time being. But the 44, Logan Clampett, trying to do everything he can to hang on to that outside lane all the way up to the wall there. Chad Lawton looks like he's going to edge him out at the start-finish line. Put that 26 back to the race lead here on lap number 55 and close in 11 laps. Left to go here in this one tonight. Going pretty quickly. No yellow flags really to hinder anything with this one, Kelly. These guys definitely setting a fast pace here for this one. Chad Lawton will clear him now off of turn number 2, and that puts that 26 back up to the top spot for a second win in a row.
Yeah, the 44, though, took a little peek down the inside as he went down the back straight, but decided against the move. Maybe he's going to wait his time out, see if the 26 will drop off or just look for a gap to show up here. But they came really close to putting each other in the wall there coming off a turn 4 that last lap. The 26 really just right up against them. Not much room between either of those two. Great driving for both of them to keep it clean, though, and keep racing like they are.
Yeah, great job by all these guys actually here tonight. Great job. 20 trucks still left on the lead lap right now of the 27 that made the start. So a great job, even with all this green flag racing. Definitely a lot of speed throughout the field for all these guys to still be on the lead lap here at Michigan. So a little further back in the field, guys we looked at early on, Jordy Lopez Jr. right now in the 4th spot, looking to try to catch that 01 of Alex Bergeron. Bergeron doing a great job trying to hang on to that top 3 spot he's got right now. Bentley Glazer doing a great job hanging on to 5th for the time being, but it's going to be short-lived. Here comes the 83 now. Benefield looking for 5th again.
Yeah, Benefield just on the inside heading into turn 1 here. Might be able to sneak past. Wow, he just launched past them there going into the turn 1. Carried a lot more speed, and now the 60 looking on the inside of the 36. They head out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. The 60 running up right against the wall, trying to just get as much of that side draft as he can away from him so he can just push past him. And looks like the 36 is just going to lift off a bit early and drop behind and maybe wait his time to get his spots back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Bentley Glazer doing a great job, though, nonetheless, with the short pit, getting himself to track position up to 2nd, almost battling for the lead once everything cycled out. But right now, currently, a couple spots back. He's going to find himself in that 7th spot. We'll see if he can hang on to it, keep Chad Coleman behind him. There's quite a bit of a gap he's got right now. The Bentley, Richard Beasley, I should say, 1 lap down, trying to get around him right there. So after making that late race pit stop there for the 10, showing a lot of speed, maybe possibly have an opportunity to get back on the lead lap, but he's got a lot of work to do. Is Adam Benefield now looking for another spot? He goes around Jordy Lopez, move that 83 up to 4th now. So the long run, exactly what I talked about. Here comes Byron Daly as well, looking to get around the 2 of Jordy Lopez. Is 10, Richard Beasley. He's trying to figure out which way to go here with the faster truck.
Yeah, just trying to push him along. I'm surprised he's able to hold that truck on as well as he is. Looks like he's got a good dent in his rear end there from that first caution. He checked up and got a good shot to the back, but that truck, even with the dirty air it's causing that damage, he's running pretty strong with those fresh tires right on the bumper of the 60, giving him a good push. Now looking to the inside, still really wants that spot back.
Yeah, he's got a couple more to get there if he wants to get himself back on the tail end of the lead lap before this thing's over. Up front, though, Chad Lawton starting to open up a gap here as we come across the start-finish line. 6 laps to go in this one here tonight, and he's pulled out to about a half-second lead right now, about some 10 car lengths, or truck lengths, I should say, over second-place running Logan Clampett, who Logan has led quite a bit of number of laps, but I definitely say it's definitely going to be a dogfight who leads the most here Here, another position. Himself at ninth now, trying to run down Chad Coleman. So a little problem for him, a little slow getting in and off of pit road for the 23, and it's cost him a few positions here in the late running.
Yeah, now we see that 36 looks like he might have to fend off the. Oh, that's the lap car there going right around him. Going right around the 36. So doesn't really have to worry about losing a spot there, but still might slow him up just a little bit. Because when you're not in line, you're gonna lose a bit of speed, without that draft, and you won't get your perfect line through there. As the 62 one lap down goes around the 36.
Yeah, John Wilco, one of those other drivers, just like the 10 of Beasley we saw just a moment ago, with the fresh tires late in the run, trying to get back on the tail end of the lead lap. Chad Lawton, I should say, continuing to pull away from the rest of the field as we see a battle for the third spot coming up. Adam Benefield now really starting to take shape here, getting a little loose though off of turn number 4 as he's looking to battle Alex Bergeron for that spot, for that third spot. And that little wiggle actually brought Byron Daly in the picture as well. So third, fourth, and fifth, all nose to tail heading into one.
Yeah, we got a three-way fight shaping up here, and as we saw earlier, the 0-1 just not that good on the long haul. He's got some great speed when he's got fresh tires, but as they start to wear out, he's just starts to lose a little bit of ground. But the 83 now, great run off the corner. Now looking to the inside of the 0-1. Might be able to get him. He's got just the quarter panel going into the turn now, side by side, and just able to clear him. But the 60 now, looking to see if he can also take advantage of the 0-1 having to take that wider line. Right, whoa, big slide by the 0-1. What an unreal save. Just able to hold on to it and keep it off the 60. I thought we were going to take 2 trucks out of this race here there.
Great piece of driving right there by Alex Bergeron, but unfortunately he loses 2 more spots here as these 2 guys with the I guess I should say, saving tires very well over the course of the long runs. Adam Benefield, Byron Dale. Oh, and
83 in the wall.
Benefield in the wall after turn 2, and that's going to kill it for him right now. Heavy damage to the right side. No caution, though. So it blows in on 2 to go here this time by off of turn number 4. Chad Lawton looking for the 2 fingers. The popsicle sticks in the air. He's got 2 laps left to get the job done.
And Chad Lawton's nearly a 0.6 of a second over Logan Clampett. It's really looking a lot stronger on this run than that last green flag run. Definitely carrying a lot of speed. I was kind of worried, like I said earlier, I was worried that he burned up his tires too quickly, but it seems like he's just turned on the afterburners, just switched it on, going right past these guys, flying around this track. Definitely trying to go for back-to-back wins here.
Yeah, he is. I guess I'm trying to get out of here a little bit early. This won't be the white flag right here. 6 laps to go. They go on to lap 70. I got the wrong memo there on that one. So, my bad. Anyway, 6 laps to go now for Chad Lawton. Still continuing to pull out quite a big distance here. Just over a half a second now, as you can see the 10. Richard Beasley trying to get around the 44. Logan Clampett actually into the wall a little bit there off of turn number 2. That's definitely going to hurt his chances to chase down your race leader. Byron Daly in the 3rd spot, 5.5 seconds back, so definitely needs a caution, but not at this point here. At this point of the race, we get a caution. They could pretty much end this thing now. Chad Lawton, though, off of turn number 4. This time by, he's looking for 6 to go here, and he will get it. And we get, 5 to go. Gosh, I'm so off. My math is horrible. I got Evan Pasoko math tonight.
I think we're both just looking forward to going to bed here. But, yeah, we definitely have Chad Lawton just carrying a lot of speed, getting a good run off this. But like I said earlier, he was carrying the momentum of that last win. And now the 44, it looks like he scraped the wall again there. Maybe he's just pushing his truck too hard. He's kind of just ease up a little bit. It's better to take the 2nd place than wreck it and be back with maybe 25th. But he slowly seems to be closing that gap maybe. He's definitely has to push hard if he wants to, any chance to win this. But it's a fine line. You push a little too hard, that truck's going in the wall, and you're not winning this race, maybe not even finishing this race.
Yeah, for guys like Logan Clampett, though, with minimal starts in the truck series, that's pretty much what it is. He's here to win races, and 2nd place really doesn't mean anything for him anyway. So a lot of guys, Adam Benefield, of course, we saw him get into the wall. He stayed on the racetrack trying to get the best possible finish he possibly can. He's sitting 9th right now currently on the speedway. JD Laird able to get around him, get that 8th spot back, so he's continuing to try to gain some spots. Might have an opportunity to catch that 36 of Bentley Glazer and possibly get himself one more spot here, but Bentley Glazer did a great job with the track position that he had. 3 laps to go, though, for Chad Lawton. He crosses the start-finish line this time by here as we get closer and closer to lap number 70, not 65. Got a pretty good battle up in front, or behind him, though. Look at this; these guys, 3 trucks now going for the same spot here. 01 and Alex Bergeron falling back 3 wide now into turn 1.
Side by side, the 20 deciding he wants none of this and backing out, and the 01 and the 36 looks like they slammed doors together. 01 definitely getting the worst at losing a lot of ground, still wiggling, but able to hold on to 20, making the most of it though. Great advantage in his momentum, flying down the backstretch, past the 01 and side by side now with a 36 going to turn number 3. Definitely wanting that top 5.
I'll tell you what, Chad Coleman not too long ago sitting outside the top 10. Now look at him come alive here late in the going. 2 laps to go for him and looking to get that spot. He'll not quite clear him, but he'll get the spot for the time being, so move him up a couple spots just in 1 lap. Chad Coleman now up to the 5th spot here. A lap and a half, though, away from a victory. Chad Lawton doing a great job again. Still 0.6 of a second lead right now. A couple more lap trucks right in front of him. Might catch one of them, maybe, before he'll be looking for that white flag in the final trip around Michigan International Speedway tonight.
Yeah, you'd have to think that he's pretty much got this one locked up unless something major happens here. So definitely not going to be pushing too hard. He's got a good gap now, 0.7 of a second over Logan Clampett. If he just cruises his way to victory, it'll be a nice, easy win for him tonight. Showing some great strength in that second green flag run. Good thing the 12 car there, giving him lots of room to the leader. Half a lap to go for the to make it 2 in a row for the 26 of Chad Lawton.
Exactly what he's doing right now, looking for back-to-back wins in the SegPay Truck Series for ASCORS, and he's only got one more turn to do it off of turn number 4. Minimal start so far this season for Chad Lawton, but 2 wins now in the victory column. He gets the job done here at Michigan International Speedway. Race number 1 is segment 2. It goes to Chad Lawton.
Yeah, just a great win for him. Good, strong showing in that second run. He was fighting side by side with the 44 for a lot of time in that first run, but that second run definitely took a commanding lead early and just left the rest of the field in the dust. It's a great win for the 26.
Yeah, it definitely was. I thought for a second there, off of waiting that 1 extra lap, he lost about 2.5 seconds to Logan Clampett, but able to run him down and pull ahead and actually win this one by 0.8 of a second for the victory for Chad Lawton. Back-to-back wins for the 26. Talk to him and the rest of our top 3 finishers in just a moment on the LSRTV post-race show right here on iRacing Live.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. It's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and every year I've come here, this being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race. So it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads. So when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility. and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans in iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
Welcome you back here to Michigan International Speedway, the LSRTV post-race show. Getting set to get underway. Chad Lawton picking up the victory here tonight. We'll talk to him. And, of course, Logan Clamp at Byron Daly, our other top three finishers as well, right after our full field rundown. Jordy Lopez came home in the fourth spot. Fifth went to Chad Coleman. A good, strong finish for him after starting fifth. He kind of fell back outside the top 10, but able to capitalize in the late race going here in the long green flag run that we ended with. Bentley Glazer, good job, a good call on him pitting early, able to hang on to a sixth place finish here tonight. Alex Bergeron started on the pole tonight, had some glimpses of a lot of speed on the short run, unable to make things happen though on the long run. He'll finish seventh. JD Laird will rebound from a slow pit stop on the green flag stop on his last one there. He'll end up finishing in the 8th spot. Garrett Smithley, strong run for him, started 15th. He'll end up coming home in the 9th spot. And rounding out your top 10, that's the 38 of Justin Weaver.
And in 11th place, you got the 16 of Alan Cryer, starting second, dropping all the way back to 11th. Behind him is Paul Cooper, started 25th, good run, gaining 13 positions to finish 12th. Jake Simmons brings it home into 13th. David Ankeny comes home in 14th. Tyler Dalton, 15th. Stephen O'Rourke, 16th. Easily able to use those late pit stops and those fresher tires that work their way back to be the last two trucks on the lead lap in 17th and 18th. Behind them, a lap down, Adam Benefiel, 19th, and Tyler King will round out your top 20.
Coming home in the 21st spot here tonight, that was Matt Quick in the 89. 22nd goes to John Wilco. Ray Rittenauer come home in the 23rd spot. 24th, last truck one lap down. That'll be Joshua Geyer. Paul Fugate will sit this one out 46 laps down. E.J. O'Rourke, Doy Woods will round out the 27 trucks that made it here tonight. We'll send it down to myself here, down in Gatorade Victory Lane for the second time in 3 weeks. We'll call the 26 of Chad Lawton the winner here tonight. And, of course, back-to-back wins for you, Chad. Not too bad way for minimal starts here in the Truck Series this season.
Oh, it was an exciting race. I thought Michigan was going to be a lot closer. All of us would be a giant pack for about 70 laps, but we're going to keep hitting these setups is pretty good with the, making them fix for everybody and making them where you have to actually drive them. So it's been really exciting to drive, and they've been loose and challenging. So it's cool to get some gaps on each other, and me and Logan and a few other guys were able to actually have a good race there.
Yeah, it looked like maybe in the first half of the race, the draft really played into effect, and you guys, it was probably about 3 or 4 trucks that kind of stayed up towards the front for the race lead for the majority of that first half of the race. But then once the green flag pit stops, we know those tend to separate the field a little bit. It did just that. You pitted 1 lap later than Logan Clampett. Was that the plan going in? Because when you came out, you had a 2.5-second gap to make up.
My goal was just to pit with 30 to go. I was having a few guys on the team some fuel to see what I could take as much amount of fuel as possible. because it was extremely loose on that first run and really hard to control. That's how Logan got ahead of me. He looked like he could drive the car a little bit better than I could, looser. Surprised he got out so far. I think it was the fact that he pitted a lap earlier, but I still had like a 12.5 pit stop, so I was kind of shocked that he was that much further out in front of me. But with the new build, one lap on better tires than the guy in front of you, it's for some reason huge when it shouldn't be, and that's why I was able to roll him back in and take probably less field than he had. I was able to control my truck a little bit better and get away from him.
Yeah, you were able to get the job done. You finally caught him, got around him, lap traffic and all. Able to pull away and have a comfortable lead there. And unlike 2 weeks ago, Pocono ended under the caution flag. You're able to race this one out here. One caution flag, pretty good race. Long green flag runs. It definitely paid out in your favor.
Oh, definitely. I've been really surprised and kind of excited around these that most of the races that I've entered have been caution-free or one or two cautions. It hasn't been a wreck fest in any of these races by any means. So ASCORS got a bunch of good guys here in the Truck Series, and it makes it fun coming back here and racing each week. We're not under caution; we actually get to race. So I appreciate everyone who runs the series and runs clean.
Yeah, definitely. Probably one of the staple marks that we've seen all season long in all 13 races so far this season is the ability for everybody in the series, all different levels as well, too, to get the job done, run a lot of green flag laps, so it's been a lot of fun. But, Chad, you're able to pick up your second win in a row. You haven't qualified yourself for the chase, only 4 more races to do that. I don't think you have enough starts to get it done, but obviously coming out and getting victories is what it's all about. So we'll give you this opportunity. Sponsors, shout-outs, it's your chance.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank Dylan Duvall and Infinite Creative Solutions. Does some awesome paint schemes. One of the best on the net here. TCM, Tim's Corners, he came on board this season, or this segment. On board, helped me out with the entry fee and put him on the truck, and I was happy to get him his first win with the first race, I guess, with him on board. And definitely want to thank everyone on the team for all their support and what they do in the background and DWC and all that. And definitely you guys and SegPay for putting on a great show.
Well, there you have it. Our winner here tonight at Michigan. Back-to-back wins for Chad Lawton. Gets it done at Michigan. Congratulations again, Chad.
Thank you.
There you have it. First place for 2 times in a row. 2 weeks ago at Pocono, and then tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. Looking to make it 3 in a row next week at Darlington. Well, it's that time. We'll throw it down further down pit road, and Logan Clampett is now caught up with Kelly Dahl.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I'm here with our second place finisher, third place qualifier, and a few times during this race, our leader, Logan Clampett. Logan, it's your first time back at the track and in these trucks for a little while. How was the truck handling for you? Was there a bit of a time you had to take to adjust to it again, or have you been practicing beforehand?
It was a little loose this race, but I normally drive the truck, but I believe the setup was adjusted for it to be loose and stuff, so it was a lot of fun. Just, I believe Chad definitely took less fuel than me there that last stop, and I don't know if that was it or it was just like that one lap. I'm not sure because I thought the amount of fuel I was supposed to take because I was like 5 laps to the good or something, so I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of drafting out there today. Would you say that was the huge deciding factor in this race early on? Like trying to draft with other drivers to maybe open up a gap against another person or try to catch up, or were you able to run pretty well on yourself in clean air?
It depends for old tires versus new tires, because on new tires everyone is kind of even, and the draft helps a lot. I can definitely tell you that much. But on old tires, people start getting loose off, and you can kind of pull them down the straightaways. So it just all depends.
Well, you definitely ran up front a lot today. What would you say was your gave you that big advantage in this race? You led quite a few laps this race.
First pit stop, I also took less fuel than everyone, and Chad took full, I think. So that gave me an advantage, and I wasn't as loose off as him during that second run, I believe, after that first caution. So that was a huge advantage, but that one lap, I think, really did it that last run.
Well, you're still 6.5 seconds ahead of third place and a solid second place finish. Is there anyone you'd like to give any shout out to before we let you go here?
Just shout out to High Performance Motorsports, Revcom Gaming, Sim Racing Authority, Infinite Creative Solutions, I Can't Design, and you guys for broadcast, Brian Schoenberg, JD Lair, DJ Lion, for putting this series on for all 3 of the series.
All right, well, thank you very much, Logan. I hope to see you in a few weeks on the 29th in Darlington. I'd like to send it back to my co-host here, Andy, who's now caught up with our third place finisher.
Right, I'm down here on pit road. I've caught up with our third place finisher, Byron Daly. And for Byron, it's your 4 top 5 in the 9 starts so far in the truck series. Not a full schedule you're running, but when you come out here and you can run as fast as you did, especially on the long run, gaining all the positions you did, you start at 10th, you end up coming home 3rd. Pretty good run.
Yeah, it was an alright run. Could have done without missing my pit stall there. I just was actually looking for the wrong number and saw it too late, so race went green from there, so actually pretty much had to start almost shotgun in the field, and yeah, finished 3rd. I mean, it's a pretty good night, you know.
Yeah, you definitely look like one of the stronger trucks. You and the 83 of Adam Benefield there, especially on the long run, it looked like you two guys were able, as the tires wore out, really have an advantage on some of these other guys. Was that your whole key coming into a race like this? This track typically has a lot of green flag runs. Was that your focus the whole night, was saving those tires for later in the run?
Yeah, I mean, I like tracks where the truck frees up over a run, and tonight was definitely one of those nights where if you could just keep the right rear on it a little better than other guys, you can drive right by them, and I just like it when the setup is like that. It's a lot, for me, I find it easier to pass people, race people, others maybe not so much, but it was a lot of fun out there. Really appreciate ASCORS putting the race on and let me come out here and race whenever I can.
That's definitely fun to see. Of course, we see you every Sunday night in the Pro Geek Consulting Cup Series, but it's cool to see you come out and run these trucks as well, too, and have a good night at it as well. It may only show at the end of the night +7 in the standings, but I definitely would say, starting in the back there, you probably passed the most trucks here tonight. So I'll give you an opportunity, your sponsor shout-outs, who helps you get it done?
Yeah, just, thank Focus 7, they've been cool to me, and it's nice to get to run their logo on the truck, but again, thanks to the guys at ASCORS putting the league on. It's a fun league, glad to get to run it, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting these races. They're cool to go back and watch whenever I get some spare time, so yeah, just appreciate everything.
We appreciate that, and appreciate you coming out and putting on a good show like that, too, as well. Byron, congratulations again on 3rd place tonight.
Thanks, Andy.
There you have it, Byron Daly coming up with the 3rd place finish here tonight. Limited starts for these top 3 finishers, but I'll tell you what, if we saw them all season long, we might be talking 3 guys battling for a championship at the end of the season if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, all 3 drivers just showed a really strong race out there. There's definitely no one could really touch them, and there was pure dominant. Especially the top 2, they ran in the front near the entire race. I believe the majority of the laps led were split between these 2. Just a great showing from these 3 guys.
Yeah, definitely a shout out to Alex Bergeron as well too. Started on the pole, led a bunch of laps in the opening part of this race, but it seemed obviously with the longer runs, definitely hurt him. Definitely a fast truck on the short runs with the fresh tires, but still overall a great night for him, coming home in the 7th spot as well too. So overall, I thought tonight great race, and you come to Michigan, you always think of what we see here, wide open. 2-3 lanes. There's options for the drivers. The handling's a little off. There's strategy that goes into it, whether or not to take a full tank, whether to take a full tank. It depends on how your truck's handling. And we saw that all here tonight, plus the long green flag runs all the way up from, I think it was lap 14, I think it was, when we took the green flag to finish this thing off. So the one caution on the night, a great job by everybody and throughout the field. Just some great racing, and it just continues week after week with these races. They put on a great show in the trucks, and it's fun to watch. But we talk about Michigan, and then Now we're going to throw it to a whole different animal next week, or 2 weeks from now, Darlington. That's going to be a lot of fun. Talk about that track a little bit, Kelly.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track. There's a reason why there's a saying called "earning your Darlington stripe." For those who don't know, that's a stripe you make on the side of your truck or car by just tearing the paint off from scraping that wall. It's a very every exit of that track is very narrow. That wall comes up to you fast, and a lot of people will end up pancaking that wall over the course of a race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a fun track to watch. We hope everybody tunes in for that in 2 weeks' time, but of course can't get any of that done without SegPay, and we want to thank again SegPay for everything that they do, for putting this on, and for over 10 years they have been processing online payment transactions for merchants in all categories with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are a leader in card not present transactions and have a strong relationship with acquiring banks and with credit card schemes. Learn more at segpay.com, the proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. And of course, Garrett Smithley Racing, the proud sponsor of Garrett Smithley and the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevy Camaro and the NASCAR Xfinity Series each and every week on the live screen or at the racetrack near you. Want to thank everybody from ASCORS Racing. Of course, you can see everything at ASCORSRacing.com. Get up to date with everything going on with them. All 3 series, of course, Sunday nights, Wednesday nights with the trucks, and then, of course, with their Xfinity Series on Friday nights as well. Thank Brian Schoenberg, League Administrator, of course, DJ Lyon, JD Laird, everybody behind the scenes with that. And, of course, everybody involved with Live Sim Racing TV and everybody behind the scenes as well. You can check out our webpage, livesimracing.com. Check out our schedule, full schedule events of all week long racing, including tomorrow night with the Domino's TYJ Series as they get on another race as well tomorrow night. And then, of course, you can't forget Saturday night, this coming Saturday night, the Brickyard 200, the United Sim Racing Truck Series. Tune in for that one, 10 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night, right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. I want to thank everybody from LSRTV behind the scenes, and thank the broadcast crew. Caselle's getting a little late for me. The broadcast crew here tonight, Kelly Dahl, myself, Andy Kessler, and of course, Cisco Scaramuzza, behind the scenes getting the picture to you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on iRacing Live and LSRTV. We hope to see you next time right here.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.